In a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills lived a young boy named Leo. The sun would rise, painting the sky with hues of orange and gold, but Leo preferred the dim glow of his phone screen. His days were spent in idle comfort, scrolling through videos, while his chores were left undone and his schoolbooks gathered dust. His father, a man whose hands told stories of a lifetime of hard work, watched him with a heavy heart. He knew that comfort without effort was a gilded cage, and he couldn't bear to see his son trapped inside. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, the father's silence finally broke. He looked at Leo, his eyes filled with a mixture of love and concern. "Son," he said, his voice firm but gentle, "from this day forward, things will be different. You will only eat the dinner that you have earned yourself." Leo stared back, confusion turning into defiance. Earn it? How? He felt the sting of humiliation, a wave of resentment towards his father. Why was he being punished? Life was supposed to be easy. That night, for the first time, Leo went to bed with an empty stomach, but a heart full of anger. The next morning, hunger gnawed at him. He first tried the easy way, asking neighbors for money. But all he received were polite refusals and questioning looks. Humiliated, he realized shortcuts wouldn't work. He then looked for small jobs. He offered to sweep a shopkeeper's dusty storefront, but his clumsy work earned him only a few coins, not enough for a real meal. He tried stacking heavy boxes at the market, but his arms, unused to labor, quickly grew sore. He felt the sting of failure over and over again. Each rejection, each tired muscle, was a harsh lesson. The world, he was learning, didn't owe him a living. Days turned into a week of struggle. Leo was tired, frustrated, and lonelier than he had ever been. He missed the warmth of the family dinner table, the easy chatter, and the feeling of belonging. One afternoon, he saw an old farmer struggling to mend a long stretch of broken fence. Remembering his father's words about persistence, Leo walked over and offered to help, expecting nothing in return. For hours, they worked under the hot sun, hammering posts and stretching wire. It was grueling, back-breaking work. His hands were blistered, his shirt soaked with sweat. As the sun began to set, the farmer looked at the mended fence, then at the exhausted boy. He pressed a decent wage into Leo's hand, far more than he had ever earned. "You're a hard worker," the farmer said with a respectful nod. A feeling Leo had never known washed over him. It wasn't just relief, it was pride. He walked to the village bakery, the coins feeling heavy and real in his pocket. He bought a warm loaf of bread and a small piece of cheese. Sitting on a bench, he took a bite. That simple meal, earned with his own sweat and effort, tasted better than any feast he had ever eaten at home. It was the taste of dignity. That evening was a turning point. The emptiness in his stomach had been replaced by a fullness in his soul. He understood. He understood that rest is only sweet after labor. He understood that value isn't given, it's created. He started waking up early, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. He helped his father with the morning chores before heading to school. He no longer saw his studies as a burden, but as another form of work, an investment in himself. His grades began to improve, and so did his relationships. Teachers noted his new focus, and his friends saw a quiet confidence in him that wasn't there before. The changes were gradual, but profound. The lazy boy who hid from the sun was now the first to greet the dawn. The boy who resented his father now looked at him with newfound respect and gratitude. He saw the wisdom in his father's harsh rule. It wasn't a punishment, it was a gift. It was the gift of self-respect. One evening, months later, the family sat at the dinner table. The atmosphere was different. It was warm, filled with mutual respect. Leo had earned his place at the table, not just for that day, but for life. His father looked at him, a proud smile gracing his lips. "I'm proud of the man you are becoming, son," he said softly. Leo smiled back, his heart overflowing. "Thank you, Dad," he replied. "Thank you for teaching me how to stand on my own." He had learned the most important lesson of all, that the greatest rewards in life don't come from taking the easy path, but from paving your own path through hard work, perseverance, and the courage to build a life of purpose. This story teaches us that true growth is found in the struggle. It reminds us that parents can guide us with tough love, and that the value of anything, be it a meal, a dollar, or a day of rest, is only truly understood when it is earned. Life's most beautiful moments are not those spent in idle comfort, but those where we can look back at a challenge we've overcome and say, "I did that." Thank you for joining us at Orange Paws Stories. We believe that every struggle holds a lesson, and every story can be a guide. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of growth and perseverance. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep learning, and keep believing in the strength within you.